Hey bitches, welcome to episode 44 of Roll for Girl Dinner, where we let the dice answer the age-old question, what should we have for dinner? Today we'll be using these dice. These are my dice. I call them girl dice. Now let's get started with a roll for protein. 8. Sardines. Today we'll be using Atlantic sardines and olive oil. I've never tried this brand before. I bought it in a frenzy of buying a bunch of different brands because I love a side-by-side tasting. Did I ever do my sardine side-by-side tastings? No. Though if some side-by-side tasting content interests you, let me know in the comments. Next up, let's roll for some cheese. 4. Gouda. Today we've got this Beamster Black Label Gouda that's been aged 20 months, or rather, more properly said, Gouda. It's a hard cheese, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work with the sardines just yet, but both of these are things I really like, so I'm feeling very optimistic for this meal. Now it's time to roll for some vegetables. That's a 1 for no vegetable and a 6 for sugar snap peas. Again, I'm not really sure how all these things are going to work together, but I love all of them, so we'll see. Moving on to the roll for carrier. 1. This is finger food now. Now it's time to roll for some Razzle Dazzle. That's a 2 for bean salad and a 7 for almonds. I got this Paisley Farm 4-bean salad at Costco, and I'm pretty excited to try it. Though, of course, rolling this means that green beans have managed to sneak their way onto the plate yet again. It's not exactly ideal for finger food, but we'll make do. It's fine. The almonds, on the other hand, perfect finger food. No notes. Time to get saucy with the roll for sauce. 4. Horseradish sauce. Today we'll be using Beaver brand cream horseradish, and I am just not mature enough for that name. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to mix with everything, but I feel like it might be good on the sardines, and we'll definitely go with the strength of flavor in the cheese. Now let's roll for some sparkling water. 1. Unflavored. Alright, that's fine, I'll make my own. Though I really wish this bottle was copper to match the machine. And since it's Saturday, we get to roll for a silly little beverage. 6. Choose your own. I think we should go with the Pear Manhattan. Disclaimer, if you're confused about my appearance, this was filmed in July before I went into hiding. Now let's get to making this drink. It is as wonderfully simple as a regular Manhattan. We're just going to take 1.5 ounces of pear-infused brandy. I recommend not donating some to the countertop. Then we'll add in 1.5 ounces of sweet vermouth, a few drops of Angostura bitters, and then shake it over some ice. Now pour it into a fancy little cocktail glass, and enjoy. Now, this is one of my favorite cocktails on its own, but it gets even better with some champagne. And since it was choose your own, and I happen to have some champagne on hand, we're gonna do it that way. So good, so good. Now let's eat, bitches. We've already got our cocktail, but we've got to gather our sparkling water and the leftover coffee, as always. Given that this is finger food, I'm not exactly sure what the best way to do this is, but the ring's gotta come off. Can't have the snake getting messy. The sugar snap peas are an easy start for wimps, but let's try it mixed with the horseradish. It's pretty good, actually. And you know, maybe this cheese is just hard enough that I can use it as a carrier. I know it's cheating, but I do what I want, okay? Deal with it. These sardines are a little less firm than the ones I usually get, and so they're a little more of a struggle, and I'm not gonna just eat these straight with my finger. But I think that this flavor combination is gonna work really well together, so let's see. This is... No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I definitely need you to remember here that I love sardines. That's our starting place. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. Maybe I can save it by diluting the flavor of these sardines a little bit. Nope. Doesn't work. My hands are messy. It's not even finished chewing yet. This is bad. I hate it. Back to the sugar snap peas. Back to safety. Once I can finally finish chewing. Oh, sweet relief. Okay, I think it's time for me to try this bean salad. It should be good, theoretically. I love beans. So I'll grab one of each type so that I can try and get the full flavor and see how it goes. Oh, this is not what I was expecting at all. It's sweeter than I thought it was going to be. And, you know, I don't like it. Okay, let's try these sardines on their own without the hardness of the cheese, making it take a really long time to be able to chew them. Oh no, they are much worse on their own. Okay, it's not that they're like bad in terms of safety, but they're bad. They are so bad. Let's burn some of this flavor out of my mouth with this horseradish. And I definitely want to give this bean salad its fair shot, but honestly, it's just too sweet, and I just don't like it, so more horseradish. And of course, we come to the point in the episode where I ask myself, if I were to play a character who would rate this girl dinner a perfect 10, who would I be? Allow me to introduce Namera Kelmar. Hailing from the deepest parts of the ocean, she always wanted to explore the surface world and the rest of the oceans. But having only heard stories from adventurers who had returned from the surface, she was always too scared to venture that far. Okay, so too scared was really just the excuse that she used to convince others to go do her bidding for her. The whole world, Oceans included, really empathizes with severe anxiety, and she knew how to play her part. What she was really doing was sending other sea folk off with her experiments. You see, she had spent years at home as a tinkerer, learning to create homemade explosives and weapons that you just can't test those things out right in your community that you live in. So she would disguise them as helpful objects, and anytime a group would go adventuring, she would gift those adventurers with some useful little thing to take with them. Most never returned, totally justifying her feigned fears of venturing out to anybody who may have wondered. After many groups had gone over a series of years and years, she decided it was time to go collect some data about the efficacy of her projects. She gathered up all of her measuring instruments and followed the tales of mysterious explosions. Sadly for her, she caught up to one group who still had her devices and got caught in the blast radius of her own making. If I were her, I would rate this meal a perfect 10. As it is, I, Kendra, rate it a 0 out of 10. The sardines absolutely ruined everything else for me, and I barely got through it.
This is my meal. I call this girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl